Hey there, welcome to this session. In this session, I want to talk to you about SMB, Social Media Blueprint. Just want to give you my review. Now, sometimes you hear Social Media Blueprint, sometimes they refer to themselves as SMB, and other times you'll see it as REI Marketing. So all of it seems to be kind of like one and the same from my experience of working with them. Who am I? I'm Emil Belvin. I'm a real estate broker and investor here in Los Angeles. And I want to tell you about my experience, what it was like for me working with SMB. Now, first things first, let me show you the little welcome kit that they sent me, which was a nice touch. I really thought this was pretty cool. I got a mug. I got my mug, I got my clipboard, and yeah, that was pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that. That came in the mail. And that was a really nice touch to, welcoming me aboard. So how did I find out about SMB? I found out about them through, I guess it was a YouTube ad that Nate was running. And it was talking about, how he's helping investors to advertise and to do things through social media. So it made me very curious because, we have some mailers in our office that go out and, we do other things in regard to trying to generate door knocking, for sure, to try and generate business. And this was something that I felt could be another angle that we approach things with. So with that being said, I signed up for Social Media Blueprint. Now, why did I choose them? Again, my focus was on working with someone that does social media, but also understands what the needs are of a real estate investor. So that was my primary draw as to like why I got sucked in, so to speak, to work with SMB versus another agency that did Facebook ads. Now, what I like about Social Media Blueprint, there's a couple things, and I'll highlight those for you. I felt like they did a good job with kind of having things organized. They have a nice platform that holds a lot of their library video content. So that was really well organized. And you could go through that and kind of at your own pace. It's kind of like in the library, just kind of click and can look at it whenever you're available. We did learn a lot. We learned a lot about Facebook systems, how Facebook ads work, but also how when leads do come in, how to go about creating follow-up campaigns from those leads and how to capture those leads in an organized way. So we took a lot away from it, not just the Facebook ads, because that was the real big push of the program is how to really go about using Facebook ads. And so we took the Facebook ads, but they also showed us a few things that we can couple with our Facebook ads to help us stay organized and follow up with people. So that was pretty cool. I also like that they were, a pleasant group of people to work with. The coaches, when I spoke to them, Chris got back to me on one thing, Jay got back to me on something else, and it was a good experience. So I have no qualms or gripes about that. Now, what I didn't like about Social Media Blueprint SMB, what I did not like, I felt like the calls for the most part were very basic and rudimentary, especially for somebody who's already in the business. I felt like the calls are very long. Man, some of the calls like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and it's hard for somebody working in the business to make 2 hours to listen to a phone call. So those were two things that definitely kind of stand out to me in regards to like the calls. Now, what else? Got this thing here I need to grab a little sip. But I also, wanted to point out that I feel like they lumped everybody into one group. I feel like everybody was kind of lumped into one group, whether you were a beginner, an intermediate, or an advanced person. And not knocking being a beginner. I mean, I've been a beginner at some point. I got into real estate in 2007. That was when I got my agent's license, and I did my first real estate wholesale deal in 2016. So I've been, at it for a little while. And, to hear some of the, more rudimentary questions, it was like, come on, let's get to the good part. And, it's just a call. So the calls aren't necessarily focused on one specific topic all the time. But, it's their way of trying to make sure that everybody who's in the program gets their questions answered and their voice heard. I would have preferred for those calls to have been broken out into like maybe Monday we do more of the beginner calls. On Wednesday we do kind of intermediate people in the business calls. And on Friday we hit some advanced calls. So that way the beginners kind of have their day. The people that feel like they know a little bit, have their day. and then everybody can try to catch in, on the advanced calls, and it's not kind of making somebody that's advanced. Because for me, I would consider myself more of an intermediate type of person. I wouldn't say I'm a beginner. I definitely wouldn't say I'm advanced. We're all at different levels, but I would say kind of like an intermediate person in real estate, investing. There's certain things I have a very good grasp on, but there's certain things I could stand to learn a lot more on, like subject to financing and wraparound mortgages. And things of that sort. Seller financing, I kind of understand how that works, but mainly like subject to and wraparounds, that's a little foggy to me, as well as lease options. And those are, they may have had some calls like that, but again, I couldn't catch all the calls. But if, let's just say, one of the topics this week was we're going to talk about wraparound mortgages during this call, then by all means, I'm tuning in. Or if we're going to say, hey, we're talking about how to take it subject to and the creative ways of how to structure that, then I'm tuning in. And not saying that they didn't have them, but there was a lot of different things, and it was hard to decipher, hey, what's what? It wasn't necessarily like, when you sign up, hey, on this particular day we're doing this, and you have an outlined syllabus or calendar. So that was something I felt like they could have done a better job with, as well as the follow-up throughout the program. We were in the program for 3 months building out our site, or building out our Facebook ads. And in regard to the follow-up, it was very limited. Like, nobody reached out to say, hey guys, how's the build out going? Are you guys kind of coming together with this? Are you just about done? Where are you in the process? We didn't have a coach that was like kind of designated to us. And I feel like that could have been something that was helpful, especially with us building it out ourselves. When I say us, my assistant, she helped me with it. She did a great job. I enjoyed, how we learned from it, because we wanted to do the build out ourselves. They offer 2 options. Now, one, you can build it yourself, or they can build it for you. But I felt like it would be more helpful if we did the build out, because that way we could also apply what we learned regarding Facebook ads to other businesses that we do here in our office. So that was kind of my take, in regard to that. But it would have been nice to hear from some coaches along the way, or maybe have just, maybe some email direct kind of thing, not necessarily focused on group, but a little bit more one-on-one. Or even if it's just a small group, maybe it's, 3 people that we're meeting with, that would have been good as well. So, expectations. I would say that overall, SMB met my expectations. They met my expectations. I went in wanting to learn about Facebook ads for investors and mission accomplished, and maybe a little bit more. I learned a little bit more than I probably figured I'd learn going in. But as far as expectations, they were met. They weren't exceeded. I was expecting for the price for them to exceed my expectations. But, I wanted to kind of reserve my, kind of overall, how would you say that? I wanted to set realistic expectations going in to avoid disappointments. So I'm not disappointed. I did learn some things, but I was hoping that, the program probably would have helped me even a little bit more. And I say that because of the price. Because I know that's what a lot of people want to do. I'm going to talk about the price last, right? So based on the price, I was really hoping it would have kind of even hit a little bit harder in regard to what I got out of it. Now, I did learn a lot, like I said, but in regard to the price, I live in Southern California, and the real estate's out here is pretty expensive. And if you want to know how much it costs, I'm not going to disclose the exact dollar amount, but I'll give you a ballpark. It was equivalent of a 2-bedroom apartment in a very nice area, or a quarter's tuition at a private school, university. So it's a sizable commitment that you have to make if you're going to be a part of SMB, as well as the time commitment, especially in the beginning, because you got to go through the videos and learn and figure it out. So if you're going to spend this amount of money and you are new to real estate, then you may get a little bit more out of it than, let's just say, somebody who understands a little bit more about real estate and has been doing some deals. For me personally, I think I would have felt a little bit better. I probably would have been able to grade them a little bit higher, give them a higher score, if maybe it was about 30-40% less on the price for me. That's just kind of my take on it. I was expecting to get, again, a little bit more out of it, considering the price point. But overall, I was pleased. I have nothing bad to say about my experience. I just wanted to kind of share my experience with you. Hopefully that's helpful. I did speak to one of the other students who had SMB build out her Facebook ad campaign, and she had a similar kind of take. It was kind of like okay, it did okay. I learned a few things, but because I wanted to make sure it wasn't just me and us building it out ourselves. So it didn't seem like that was necessarily where things went awry. It's just a matter of one, advertising. You have to kind of really tweak your advertising to get it to work in anything that you do. And so that's kind of what you learn from this. Facebook ads and social media marketing is no different. So hopefully that's been helpful for you. If you like the video, by all means, like it. Give us a thumbs up. You can feel free to subscribe to our channel. I have some other videos that I post as well, specifically regarding real estate agents who are trying to bridge the gap between being agents and being investors. Our video there is called 7 Reasons Why Real Estate Agents Make the Best Real Estate Investors. So you can feel free to check that out. And leave us some comments as well. If there's something you want to comment about, we check them from time to time. We'll try and get back to you as soon as we can. All right, thanks for tuning in, and we'll be in touch. Take care.